Hey, I'm about to build an AI system that takes any long-form content and turns it automatically into viral clips for Instagram and TikTok. It takes your video, finds the best moment, cuts it, makes it high definition, add caption, and then eventually it posts it automatically. You can sell this system for $1,000 to $2,000 a pop. And if you stick until the end, I'll show you how you can access this system for free so you can start selling it immediately. If you're new here, my name is Giovanni. Over the past 5 months, I've helped more than 50 businesses with AI automation. And before that, I used to be a senior manager in big tech. And with that aside, let's go straight to the video. Okay, so this is the automation that we're gonna be building. However, before going into the nitty-gritty details on how you do the things, I wanted to tell you also why you do them, because that's equally important, specifically when we talk about business. The reason why this automation is relevant is because if you ever worked with content creators, podcasters, YouTubers, and so on, you know that one of the major pain points that these people have is to create valuable short-form content, because that represents one of the main engine growth for them in order to grow the long form. And when they need to do that, they first of all need to spend hours per video because they need to review all the video, decide what moment could go viral or not, cut it, edit, add caption, and etc. And once they did it, also the other side of the coin is that this is a very expensive process, because if they need to outsource it, then hiring a clippers becomes very expensive, because these are professionals that, if they are high quality professionals, they can take between 1.5 to 3K just for like 12 shorts or 15 shorts in a month. So with this background, you can understand the value of this automation, right? Because not only it's solving a pain point in terms of time, but also it's making them save money if your automation is good enough. And because these people are in the state of major deprivation, to quote Hormozi, for this very reason, you have the chance of selling them straight away this automation. To give you a quick demo, how this automation works is that we start with a form where we will be putting the URL of the video that we want to get and how many shorts we want to produce. Here, there is no cap other than the length of the video, right? So if the video is 10 minutes, you can produce 100 shorts. If the video is, 10 hours, then most likely then you can. In the first part of the workflow, we're gonna simply upload the video to a platform, which is called Clap. And in the second part, we will be producing the shorts. In here, one very important thing is that we will have also a virality score that will help us understand if the AI actually chose the best moments. And if we wanted, we could also add some filters that would say, okay, if the virality score is below a certain threshold, please don't publish it. Once that is done, we're simply going to upload it on YouTube. So once this is clear, let's go back to a white canvas and start building it step by step. Let's break down the automation into sub-problems so that now we can slowly tackle them and try to understand how we can solve them, right? So in order for this automation to work, we need a few things. We need a trigger, and this trigger needs to contain, first of all, a URL, because I need to know what is the long form video that I want to clip. So where is it? Like, is it a YouTube, Spotify, whatever, right? And then I need in the same trigger to have also the number of clips that I want, because I need to have some ways to control how many clips do I get. Do I want 1? Do I want 1,000? You know, it depends. And of course, I would also like a sort of score that tells me how viral is going to be a short according to the calculation that AI does. The second thing that I would need, so this is the trigger part with all of the inputs that I need, it's a platform that allows me to clip the things, right? Because we don't have the possibility of clipping things natively inside n8n because it's not as platform specific for this. Reason why we would need to have a platform that does it for us, and n8n in our case will be the glue that keeps everything together. And then eventually we will decide later on if we want to have, a database, so having all of the videos in a Google Sheet or uploading them to YouTube. Like, we have so many options, right? Let's start then with the first thing, which is the trigger. So here we want a form, right? And the reason why we want a form is that it allows me to put few things here as an input. So title is, let's call it clipping automation. And description, it's simply this automation creates viral shorts from any long form content. Nothing crazy, right? Now, respond when form is submitted and form elements. What is the first thing that I want? Here I want, let's do the example for YouTube URL. And here I can clearly see that that having the text variable is more than enough, right? Here I don't want any placeholder, it's fine. And then the second thing that I would like is a how many shorts. correct? And here I don't want a text, but I want a number. So I'm just gonna change the variable and make it mandatory also. So with that being said, we can try and see if this works. Execute. YouTube URL. I found a video of Elon Musk that I really like. It's an interview. And I am going to go right here. And how many shorts? 2. Form has been submitted. And now I see that also in here, I have my URL and my 2 YouTube shorts as an input in our beautiful JSON. Okay, fantastic. Now I have this. And what do I need? Now I need to feed this URL into a platform. The platform that I'm going to use is Clap. But before we go there, I prepared for you a Notion file that it will be accessible for free. And there will be all of the code and things that we will be using. And so we can start from here. And if you press the .clap, and you will land in this page. Actually, you land in a login page. Now I can't go anymore because I would need to get out of my account. However, you log in, simple email and password, and then you get inside. The first thing that you're going to do is on the top right-hand corner right here, you're going to go to API, and it will ask you to generate a new API key. And this is super important because in the example that I'm about to show you, and also because of how I structured the overall document right here, I now will have my API key in a variable so that you have just by replacing that key, all of the automation works for you and you don't have to do anything in case you download the template. Meaning, let's go right here. I will do an edit node, edit field. I will call it manual mapping right here. And the name of the variable will be the same name that I have here, so that you are not going to be confused later on when you have to put your keys. And now what I'm gonna do is once you go here, I'm gonna copy it, go right here, I'm gonna paste it, you're gonna see it. Fine, later on I will delete it because otherwise I'll pay everyone in clips, and then you can execute. Okay, now your API key is right here and we have connected this. Mind you, you might need to put your credit cards or something like this, and you can put like $2 is more than enough. And then we need to connect to the platforms. So how do you do that? Now that we are in our platforms, I go back to the dashboard, and if I go on the bottom part, you will see that I have the chance to press API docs, and I will go inside the documentation. This documentation is very well explained, and it's exactly, by the way, the things that I prepared for you right here. And I will show you now that I gave you the exact same name of the step that you find in the documentation in case you're curious and you want at a later stage to go there and check, okay, how did I do that? How did I decide the parameters and etc. However, before doing that, I want to walk you through the documentation because it's sort of a nice skill to have to be able to read the API documentation. And I believe it's a super important one. So once we go right here, you will see that in documentation, it tells you, okay, what are the use cases, getting started, and so on and so forth. So on the left-hand side right here, I see that I have generate shorts, which is exactly what I want to achieve with this automation, reason for which I'm just gonna press it. And here, as you can see, there is a step-by-step guide on how to do the things. So it tells us that the first step is submitting a video for processing. Then there is an endpoint URL, which you can open. It will simply, if you noticed, we went from here to here, and it just told you, okay, this is the request that you need to create, and these are the parameters that you need to put inside if you want to do that, okay? You will then see that the second step is poll the status, the task status, and etc. And if you see right here, these are the same name that I put for you. So now I will just simply use this document right here that I prepared so that you can literally just copy paste and substitute the variable that you see. And once you did that, everything is fine, right? So that is just to tell you that all of these steps, it's nothing more than step by step, this exact same guide followed, okay? Now, moving back to n8n, we need to, the documentation tells us that the first thing that we need to do is to submit a video for processing. Now, how are we going to do that? HTTP request, because it's something that we're asking to a third-party service, so it's not being native to n8n, we need to query it. And we're going to call this node exactly as step 1. So submit a video for processing. Now, where do we put this code, this curl, and how does it work? It works in a way that n8n allows you to, instead of getting crazy with APIs and, making a gigantic mess and etc., allows you to import curls. And what you do is just copy paste right here and press import. And if you see, it automatically populated everything for you already. And why is this helpful? Because this reduces the barrier quite a lot for new joiners and overall for technical backgrounds. You don't need a lot to be able to use effectively n8n. You just need to know where to find the information. So now you will see that in the URL, it has been already pre-populated with the code that I prepared that comes from the documentation, and API keys. API keys, now you see that here I put a text, but what I can do is I can just go in my thingy right here and put it. And now you will see that you have a JSON body right here, and we have few variables to substitute. The first one is YouTube URL, okay? Which is the one that YouTube URL. That is something that we can find inside the form, meaning we're gonna drag it and bam, and right here we find it. And then see here, target clip 1 and maximum clip 1. Actually, I didn't say it in the documentation, but I can do this, and I would like to drag this here and this here. Fantastic. One difference that I want you to notice, and reason why I didn't put it in the documentation, is this thing, if you also noticed my document, it's inside quotation marks right here, right? This one and this one. And because this is a string, this and this are numbers, reason for which they don't have the quotation mark. And be mindful, because if you put them inside quotation or a string, it will give you error. Perfect. Now I have everything I need in order to run the thing, and I am going to press execute. Oh, I just said it, and voila. And so, good. Now we should be good to go and execute. Perfect. Now we have the status, which is processing, okay? And we have all of the output variables. Now, why is the status processing? Because we have used the YouTube video. Now I will simply go inside my dashboard right here, and I will simply, and you see that it's downloading, right? Now what I will do is I will simply swap the thing with the link that I have already, so that I can proceed with this automation super fast. And I don't need to wait. So let me execute the workflow. I will put this, I said to, submit, cancel, and this should go. Fantastic, it ran and I just pinned the data, and now you will see that we have still our video with processing and etc. and we can proceed. Now, the next step, as per our guide, is to retrieve the status of the task. What does it mean? It means that, and if you see here, you will see that our video, it's still slowly uploading. Once this is uploaded to 100%, we will get that the status of the task is ready. It means that the video has been uploaded in the platform and it's ready to be clipped. Before that, it will not be. And this is all we need to care about, because what we're going to be doing now is that we're going to be retrieving that status, and then we're going to do actions according to if we got the video or not. Let's immediately get the status of the video. So again, HTTP request, we go back to our file and we again copy the curl, import curl, paste, bam. Now, what do we see? We see that in the expression, so in the URL, there is a task ID. And this variable is what we just retrieved from the previous thing. So we just delete it and drag it from here. And that's why we said submit a video for processing. Going back down, we see that once again, your API key will need to be inserted right here. Bum. And we see that with that being done, we don't have anything else to do. So we're going to execute. And now we see that the status is ready. Okay. Now, why did we say this? Because now we have an important part, which is an if node. And we're going to say that if the status that I'm going to drag right here is equal to ready, then I will allow the workflow to proceed. But if it's not ready, I am going to have to wait. And how much do I wait? It's fine to wait 20 seconds, even though we are fully aware, because, you know, right here now it's at 52, that it will take a few minutes, but this is a very long video. It's like an hour and 6 minutes, right? So here we're just going to wait. And every 20 seconds, we are just going to check again if the status of the video is ready or not. I forgot to do one very important thing, which is rename this with poll the task status. Fantastic. So we're polling it again and we're proceeding. Now, as you can see, this is ready and it will go into this path right here. Fantastic. Now, once the video is ready, what do we need to do? We can start generating our short. And how are we going to do that? Again, HTTP request, and then we go back to our file. We now need to get the list of the videos that we wanted. So we're going to import the curl. I am going to get the name, you know, right here. And I'm going to modify. So inside the URL, you will see that you have an output ID. Can you see it? Yes, you can. Fantastic. So output ID is this, and we know that we have to modify this. And the output ID, you can either get it from the if node, which is this one, or probably from this one. Let's use the if node just for simplicity. However, you can get it literally everywhere you want. So let me modify this. And then output ID, bam, good. Now, API key, usual thing. So we're going to go right here, POM API key, and we're good to go. So now we're going to press execute and it will run. Great. Now, what I want you to see is that you have 2 items on the overall array. And the reason is because in input, we asked for 2 videos. So this is the moment where we start seeing that we have something, right? Now, the name of the clip, if you notice, is this one. So the second one is Starship explained, fully reliable, blah, blah, whatever. And here it's Neuralink's brain chip. Now you will also see that there is a virality score, which is what we discussed before, right? This is more viral than this one, 88 versus 90. And it gives you also the different titles for Instagram, YouTube, and etc. That's why this system is so powerful. You have everything in one go, right? It's right here. And there is also the transcript because it's generating captions. So just to be clear on that. So here we have our videos. However, we still don't have a link to access them, right? Because we still did not export them and we didn't do much. Now, we have the first cycle. So I'm now gonna move it just right here because it's for simplicity to know that the first part is uploading the long form content. And right here, we are now doing the clips. Now, once that we are done with listing the clips, we need to export a short. So here we're gonna get most likely our fantastic videos. So HTTP, import curl, PAM, import. Let me also change the name, export a short, paste it, and then let's start modifying. Now, output ID. We said that we can find it anywhere in the if node or the previous node. So delete and drag. Short ID. And that's why now the naming convention becomes super important because now we know that list generated shorts. So that is our short ID. And we know that it's 2 items, so it will loop on them, right? And I will have a couple. Cool, because the items here are 2. Fantastic. And now the URL is completed. And guess what? Now we know the deal. Bam, bam. I hope I made the guy easy enough, by the way, to follow. So execute. Fantastic. And now we have our 2 items once again exported. Perfect. You will see that now it shrinked. It made it in scale. So now it's also slowly starting to resize from long form into shorts and etc. Great. Now, the last thing that we need to do, according to our guide, which is where we will get the URL, is to get the status of the short. And once it's ready, then we're good to go again. So what are we going to do here? Now, again, you know the deal, HTTP request, import curl, import, then the name. And just like the thing before, so before completing, let me just make it clear for you. That's why I kept the naming convention, because I want you to see that just like we were checking the status if the long form content is uploaded or not, here we need to do the same for the short. So you will have no issue, right, even before preparing it and etc. If I tell you that I can do the exact same things and replicate, because the logic that we are going to apply is exactly the same, right? So we're gonna just check if the status of the video is successful or not, and then eventually we're gonna move on with our workflow. Now let's fix the workflow right here. So output ID once again, output ID once again, it's going to go from the if node. Output ID, don't get confused with the if one, because now it's the one that I just placed. Short ID, we go again in the node that is called list generated shorts, and we just drag it in. Export ID, we just go in the node that it's called export a short, and we're gonna move it here. Fantastic. API keys, no surprises. Back here, and now I hope you understand also why I wanted to have them there. It just makes our life so much easier. And ready to go. Fantastic. Now, as you can see, the status right here, it's processing and it's still not ready. Meaning that whenever we are gonna go and try to, and let me just do this, run this, right? Let me also pin that. And let me also try and see if this works. Okay, you will see that it's stuck in this infinite loop up until the status right here changes. Of course, here we're not gonna have surprises because the status is still called status, so we are still implementing the same logic as before. Now I will just wait and maybe cut the video up until this goes successful, and then we can, never mind. And then we can proceed. So this means that right here, potentially now I have my, there you go, the status changed to ready, and then the URL. So let's go and paste the URL inside our bar and then you can have your short, right? Now, I want you to understand that right here, the process of generating the shorts, it's completed. So whatever we are going to do after, it's just a customization that we do for this workflow just to finish and do whatever. However, it's non-necessary for you to do the remaining part and to sell it for a K or to a pop, right? Because if you're selling it to, I don't know, a podcasts or whatever, you can connect it to a database, so Google Sheet, and you can create columns with name of the short, title of the short, length, script, link, and so on. What I want you to do, what I want to do with you, it's something that maybe will be difficult for a few, so I want to show you one thing. Now, let's imagine that I wanted to upload it on my YouTube, and I will do it with you. And I'm just going to go to YouTube and then upload the video, okay? Okay, and now I will create it, and then I know that I need to upload one thing at a time, right? So here I will loop over items, and I will just do one upload at a time. Okay, and let me move everything down here. And perfect. So while in the loop, keep on posting. And once you're done, then you're done. And I don't want you to do anything. I don't know, maybe you send me a message on Slack, things that I'm not going to do in this video, but that's just for the purpose. So send a message, and you could, complete it there. So that could be the end of the workflow. However, let's go here and let's check how can I do this. Let's imagine I want to do it because I'm running my YouTube channel, right? Let me run the loop so I can get the data. And bam. Oh yeah, it has issues. Okay, fine. Let me retry. Okay, good. We're successful now, and I can connect it. Now. Let's call it video trial. Region code, we can call it, I don't know, Luxembourg, where I am based. Country name, category, whatever. We can pick one, film and animation, it's fine. One big disclaimer is that we will now need binary data in n8n. And what is binary data? Binary data means that what this automation wants is not a URL. It wants like let's call it the real video, where you can, in n8n, press view, and then you see the automation, right? It's a type of data without going into complication, which is very useful when you are uploading things into a drive like PDFs and etc. You want the document, okay? You don't want a link. Because also if you go on YouTube and you press upload, you are gonna have to drag the MP4, okay? Or whatever format you're using. So this means that if I were to now go with my beautiful link and press execute step right here, I will get that this is an error. And why? Because I just have an URL. I don't have an MP4. So how do I fix that? And this is a little nice trick that will be super useful for many, many applications that you will do. I need to download from the URL, the file. And how am I going to do it? Get request, which means it's the same request that we use now to access third-party APIs. It's the same request that you would do to scrape a website, right? It's the same type of request. So now you can get it. Now, if I press execute, it's still not going to work, because what you will see is that, oh, actually it does. I thought I had to add it, but I will add it anyway because it's a good practice to do it.
And that's what the ideal length is more tightly count.
Okay, fantastic. What I wanted to do is basically adding right here, response format, and then you could go file. It's still a best practice to do that. I will leave it there, but apparently there is no difference. I got confused also. Great, so now at this point with doing this, I have my data, and out of just curiosity, I can now do execute step. And once it's done processing, it will tell me that it uploaded the short. And now I will go to my YouTube channel to show it to you. Perfect. Now I'm inside my YouTube channel. And as you can see, the video is right here, posted now. So there is absolutely nothing. I can open it, and voila. Okay, with that, before closing the video, I just want to ensure that you got the foundational element out of the video rather than the platform specifics, because it doesn't matter which platform you're using. There might be a better one in the future or even in the present that I'm not aware of, and maybe something that does better viral videos, better caption, and etc. However, the value here, it's not on the execution itself, it's on the building blocks, meaning that if you have an n8n automation and you need to go and clip something for your client, you just need to have an intermediary platform. We use Clap, you can use whatever. And you need to think of n8n as the glue that keeps them together. And as I mentioned, this is very valuable. You can go out and sell it. Generally speaking, the price varies between 1K to 2.5K. And so this is a very valuable automation if you sell it to the people that actually need it. So that's why in the beginning I was talking about content creation, because those are the people that have immediate pain points and that are willing to buy all of this from you. And where you can, there is a nice quote of Hormozi that says, sell at the high, I will not quote it now word to word, but it's sell at the highest deprivation point. And that's what you want to do. Now, if you were interested in getting the automation for free, you can simply go inside my school community. And inside the tutorials, so you will land most likely in the community tab. You're going to go inside the classroom, tutorials, and you will be able to download the full thing for free. However, as mentioned, I'm also going to leave the document like the Notion available for free for you to play out. My community, highly recommended if you're interested in selling AI services. That's what we do day and night. So if you're interested, I'll see you inside. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next one.